Hey guys, it's Mike here, and in this video, I want to discuss a question that I'm sure some Dragon Ball fan somewhere has been wondering ever since the Buu Saga. Let me know if you're one of those down below in the comments section. That has to do with Goku's Super Saiyan 3, where he goes even further beyond. And the question of, well, when exactly did Goku first achieve this brand new transformation? Now we know that obviously, so don't comment it, Goku achieved this during the 7 years of training between his death in the Cell games and his one-day life in the Buu Saga. So when exactly during that training did he achieve it? Did he do it closer to the start of his training, shortly after he achieved Super Saiyan 2? Did he do it perhaps later on in the training, right before he showed up, or somewhere in between? Well, let's get directly into this right now, as I open up Akira Toriyama's manga and start talking about a little bit about how transformations work in Dragon Ball. You see, typically a transformation, when Goku or another Saiyan, for instance, achieves it, who isn't Frieza, who just doesn't because he's so strong and he doesn't want to blow everything up in his near vicinity every time he takes a step or sneezes. Well, they will do it through extreme circumstances. Goku, well, he watched his best friend, Chester, Krillin, get his, well, entire body exploded right there. And so what happened? Well, this made him so angry that he, well, you know, he went blonde. He became the Ubermensch, the Uber Saiyan, the Uberjin. And so that caused him to have blonde hair and blue eyes, or originally white hair and red eyes, which would have been really cool if they kept that coloration that Toriyama came up with at first. But hey, this one's still iconic and awesome too. And he got a 50 times multiplier and was able to beat up the white frisbee before he became the golden frisbee, and then eventually the black frisbee. And so that was the legendary form of Super Saiyan. Then, many years later, his son, well, he got angry and became a Super Saiyan as well, but then he became a Super Saiyan 2 because Arnold Schwarzenegger showed up and he got his head cut off, but he was still able to talk through the power of his muscles. And so what happened then is that he said, "Oh, Gohan, protect the animals that I love, that I've known for 4 days, and don't let this thing step on my..." Oh, no, he did! And so he stepped on his head and he crushed his brain. His robot brain. And so Gohan got really sad, and so he screamed and he got a new form. Super Saiyan 2. You know, a new form he got too. And so, yeah, looks awesome. Coolest Gohan moment ever. They basically tried to rehash this with Gohan Beast. You know, it wasn't as cool, but hey, I mean, Gohan got to do something super for once that actually, I guess, was impressive. So cool. But yeah, this one, awesome. One of the best moments in the franchise. One of my favorites from my favorite characters. So he was extremely impressive here. Now, let's keep going. Well, after this, what about the different forms in between these two? And not just that, but what about Goku's third form? Let me get ahead of myself with his third form of Super Saiyan 3. You see, when Goku goes to square up against Fatso Buu, what does he do? He says, "And this is to go even further beyond." Or, you know, in the manga, the dialogue isn't really as cool. "This one has surpassed its predecessor," or "This one is even stronger. This one is a level up." And so he screams and screams and screams some more, like a Dragon Ball meme come to life. And his hair grows extra long, but then he loses the hair in front of his, his eyeballs, his eyebrows. And he gets the most metal transformation in the Dragon Ball franchise, unless maybe we're talking about, like, I don't know, Super Saiyan 4 being pretty metal. That's metal. And yeah, it's awesome. He looks like he just got out of a rock band. He looks like, you know, more muscular Dave Mustaine or something like that. And he's got a halo to top it off. Maybe he can turn into a Destructo Disc and chop you in half. Who knows? Maybe I'll do a video about that for some reason. And yeah, it looks awesome. Super Saiyan 2 on steroids. And it just makes his eyebrows shrink, but everything else grow. And so, yeah, This is his strongest transformation in the original manga. It is the one that allowed him to go way beyond the power of Super Saiyan 2. But as Goku says when he does this is Super Saiyan 3. Sorry that it took so long. I'm not used to this level. So Goku didn't have much experience with this form, but did he have any at all? See, that's a question right there. So let's talk about it again. When did Goku possibly achieve this form? Well, we know he did it during his training in the afterlife, but I think it comes down to one specific moment, which is right here before Goku goes to the Earth in the midst of everybody training for the upcoming tournament. You see, when Goku achieves his form, he does so, in my estimation, not through physical training, not through punching and kicking and, maybe, Android 16 getting killed again in front of him this time, but this time when he's pretending to be a Lebu, because, they look exactly the same, except one has blonde hair and dresses like a Greek god. He already had a body of a Greek god. And so basically, Goku is here, he's meditating, he's thinking, he's training in a way that we can't see. And then he has a breakthrough where you could see the power unleashed within him. He has an epiphany of sorts. He achieved another level of enlightenment, even further beyond enlightenment, I suppose, for the third time, and his second death. And this is where I believe he achieved Super Saiyan 3. Now, this might seem like a strange moment to choose for a lot of people. After all, we don't see it happen on screen. However, this is something that has a lot of basis in the story. For instance, let's go back to the idea first introduced in the narrative of how meditation really is beneficial and how the characters are able to train without even moving at all. You see, we have here on the flight the trip to Namek. In Dragon Ball Z and this section of the manga at the start of Frieza's arc, we have Krillin and Gohan fighting each other in training. All they're doing when Bulma is dressed like Ellen Ripley, they are image training. They're sitting across from each other and they're just in a cross-legged position like they're meditating, but they're actually fighting. Afterward, well, Krillin, he collapses and he's out of breath, even though it seems like they're not really even doing anything at all. And he tells Gohan, wow, that was really impressive. You really are something else. I guess I shouldn't be surprised. After all, you've got Goku's blood in you and you train with Piccolo. And then Gohan is praising him too. Thanks, Krillin. I was surprised by how many techniques you have. We don't see this happening, but they do, because through their power of ki and chi, through their abilities, perhaps even of psychic variety, they are able to visualize their power, actualize their power in their mind in almost like a different plane that we cannot see, train themselves and even do battle against each other without even throwing a single punch in reality. And this is something that, of course, we are able to get even more evidence in terms of how beneficial this is. Look, for instance, in the Cell Saga. After Vegeta finds out about the power of Cell, well, let's go there. He flies off to go to, stand on the edge of a cliff. Why is he there? So as Goku says right here, when he wakes up, again, utilizing his mental types of powers, his ki or psychic abilities, like he used that one time on Namek and then here, and that's about it as far as we knew. Well, he was able to hear everything that was going on in his mind. He has a good idea of what's going on, and not just that, but he already came up with the idea that he is going to aim for a level beyond Super Saiyan. He's visualizing it and starting the idea and the inception of the concept in his mind. People are like, how is that even possible? Goku says, I'm not sure, to be honest, but I don't think we could beat them unless I could do something like that. And he even mentions that he thinks and knows Vegeta is already going to be doing the same thing later on when he goes to get Gohan. And he's true. He's correct, because what happens? He goes to see Trunks and Vegeta, and Trunks makes note that Vegeta has just been standing here still, menacingly for 3 days straight, just seemingly doing nothing. But, he's not actually doing nothing. He's meditating in a sense. He is visualizing what he's going to achieve in his mind. He knows that there is something beyond Super Saiyan, and he's just trying to mentally grasp it, to manifest it in a sense, so that he can actualize it in reality through his training. Goku mentions this. That's Vegeta for you. He's thinking it through. He looks like he's starting to see himself as something above a Super Saiyan. That's kind of like his form of doing it. It might just be like, oh, he's standing there staring, but he's been doing it for 3 days. Kind of like how Buddha sat beneath a tree for 40 days without moving, thinking until he reached his epiphany, while Vegeta's standing there on the edge of the rock, seeing beyond what his eyes are seeing to what his mind and his power is seeing, which is beyond the Super Saiyan itself. Now, what do we see next? We don't really see Vegeta and Trunks' training. We just know that they emerge from the chamber with grade 2, and then for Trunks, he's the one who actually uses grade 3, but we know Vegeta achieved it. We do see on screen, though, how Goku did. You see, Goku and Gohan were sparring, they were doing different things here and there, but when it comes time for them to actually achieve that form, what happens? Well, we see that Gohan, and all this is kind of taking place essentially around the same time. I mean, time's iffy between these two dimensions, let's say, but Trunks and Cell are fighting, with Trunks as grade 3, but we see Gohan. He powers up after he's a Super Saiyan. He raged out to do it for the first one, but what's going on? He's jumping up in the air, he's shadow boxing, he's doing all the things physically, but Goku, he's meditating cross-legged again with his mind. He only opens his eyes to see just how incredibly strong Gohan has become, but he's going way even further than this, you see, because look at what happens. Gohan makes the same exact note about Trunks that Trunks did about Vegeta. Vegeta's just been standing there. It seems like he's doing nothing. Dad's just been sitting there. I guess surpassing that level is really difficult. Seems like he's doing nothing too. But what happens? Gohan touches down, tired from his physical fight, and then Goku, he stands up, rises to his feet, and immediately powers up, and then goes grade 2. Wow, Gohan exclaims. He runs over. You did it. You've done it. You've surpassed the level of a Super Saiyan. But Goku's not done. I can go even further than this too. I can go even further beyond, like a Super Saiyan 3. Again, very similar situation. Powers up again, bulks up further, and he achieves Super Saiyan grade 3. He didn't know that Vegeta and Trunks necessarily did this. He didn't see this. He couldn't sense them because they were in the chamber once they went to fight Cell. He did this all on his own through mental image training, through gathering his ki throughout his body. And basically that's what a lot of times it seems like what they do. When you're meditating, it's not just like, I'm thinking, oh, this would be a cool idea. No, when they have these powers, they are feeling all of their energy. They are feeling the power of a character and they're comparing themselves to it. They're feeling their maximum power and how do I visualize myself going beyond it? They are feeling all of their chi flowing throughout their bodies, their hands, their fingers, their legs, their stomach, everything, and they are gathering it. They're kind of building almost like new pathways and connections throughout their existence, throughout their physical corporeal forms with their mind, body, and spirit, and then they are figuring out a way to achieve that next level of power. And so that's how characters usually get gigantic boosts in Dragon Ball, because they feel somebody's power and they constantly in their mind compare themselves to that power, and they level up their bodies and their power to where they can output it equivalent to or greater than, let's say, a Frieza or a Cell or somebody like that. That's how they surpass them. Goku and Vegeta likely use that for Super Saiyan 2 Gohan during this 7-year time skip. So with this, Goku does this, but again, look at it this way. Goku realizes, even though he's not sensing what happened with Trunks and Cell, he comes to the same realization that Cell did, which is that he can't win like this, because he realizes when he actually does this physically with his body. It makes him stronger, but slower. The mass is not good enough, so because it slows him down and makes it where he can't hit his opponent. So in turn, they're going to master their regular Super Saiyan form and make it to where they don't waste their energy. They're not slowed down. They are able to perfect the initial form of Super Saiyan, which is what happens when they exit the time chamber with that mastered. But again, Goku didn't achieve these 2 transformation level ups, let's say, through punching and kicking. No, he might have increased his physical strength by doing that. He might have leveled himself up sparring with Gohan to a degree, but it's truly through his mental visualization, through his actualization of the power within him, through creating those connective pathways, through visualizing what he's going to use his power to do, that he can go even further beyond. And that's why I think that when Goku first becomes a Super Saiyan 3, as we see here, it's the same situation. He did it right here. And so this could also possibly explain, in part, if I'll actually show this on the screen, by the way. So I was showing right here, Goku was, again, visualizing, achieving all that form like he had done before. And again, well, I think that he went Super Saiyan 3 right here. And the reason why, possibly you can explain in universe that maybe that's also the reason why he didn't use Super Saiyan 3 right away against Vegeta as well. Not only did he know it would use a lot of his strength and energy, but maybe he didn't fully have a practical hands-on experience with it. And for all we know, this is the first time he actually did it. After all, if Goku could be sensed outside of the physical reality and bounds of the universe itself when he goes Super Saiyan 3 in the Kaioshin realm, which is a little sphere outside of the main bubble of the universe, the afterlife, and the demon realm, well, why exactly wouldn't anyone have sensed it, right? I mean, you could say the same thing about Vegeta going Super Saiyan for the first time. Maybe for all we know, Vegeta went Super Saiyan the first time literally when he was fighting against Android 19 in the manga continuity. Of course, in the anime, we do see him going in wherever he is off in space or whatever have you. But in the manga, for all we know, he did it in his mind. He broke through those bounds again, and then he did it physically. And so this could be the same thing with Goku. This could be the real first time he truly did it. Now, there is a little bit maybe that can go against that being the first time he did it in terms of physically, because King Kai does seem to be aware that Goku can do this and that he will be able to, drain his energy of the time he has there. But it could just be that he's sensing him powering up and doesn't truly know the bounds and the weaknesses of the form, like Goku goes on to learn over time through his experience of continually using it, like after this fight is over and being exhausted and realizing he can't really use in the world of the living. But either way, even if he did use and have a small amount of experience actually turning into it, like after he meditates, he stands up and he goes to these forms here, like after this, I would still say that this is the moment where Goku first became a Super Saiyan 3 in his mind. And then, we do see this burst of light. Maybe that's not just kind of a way of Toriyama spicing up some text. Maybe that was Goku transforming, a little foreshadowing, and maybe Toriyama even came up with the idea of him having another form beyond what he showed us as early as this. Or he came up with it in the exact same chapter to give everybody an idea of, something to stalboo with. You never know. That's why I think that Goku achieved it during meditation, in the afterlife, and the other world, in between the fight and the death against Cell and his one-day visit. Very close to the time when he appears on Earth, after meditating, seeing beyond the power of even Super Saiyan 2, which his son had achieved, to a brand new form, and taking all of his energy that he could output as much as possible into another form, which becomes Super Saiyan 3. But what do you guys think? Do you think this is when Goku achieved it? Let me know down below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and stick around, because in the future, we're going to make sure to go even further beyond at Saga Media. How's it going?
Yeah, and you better subscribe.